cross-border insolvency. For example, a person, a company started business in India and they took loan from our banks and individuals, but they didn't pay back. And this committee of creditors come together and decides to liquidate the company. Liquidate the company. Liquidation means taking the possession of assets of the company. Taking the possession of assets of the company and selling it and redeeming the value the banks and the companies owe to that company. But in the case of a foreign company who started business in India, but majority of their assets in foreign countries, like in Australia or England, even though they started the liquidation process, they could not redeem the money from the assets the company has in India, because majority of their assets in Australia, England, USA, etc. So they are foreign countries. Then here is a problem. To resolve that, a cross-border insolvency, to resolve this cross-border insolvency problem. This is what cross-border insolvency. Like in the case of foreign countries, an Indian company started business in Australia, and majority of assets of this company is in India. So what Australian government and Australian creditors banks do? They cannot directly go into India and liquidate the assets in India. No, that's not possible. There is a diplomatic problem arise there. So to resolve all this, there is understanding between countries on cross-border insolvency, and then international law passed to resolve this cross-border insolvency. So there is two phases in cross-border insolvency. Like I said, foreign creditors should be able to cover money lent to Indian corporates and vice versa. Indian corporates taken money from foreign creditors and they are not repaying it. So foreign creditors could redeem it from Indian corporates. For that, cross-border insolvency will be a relief. And next, lenders should be able to cover money from companies' foreign assets easily, like I said here. Lenders should be able to cover money from companies' foreign assets easily, and vice versa. For that, an international law is passed. Lenders should be able to cover money from companies' foreign assets easily, like I said here. For that, an international law is passed. To resolve that, an Injeti Srinivas-led committee appointed to resolve this cross-border insolvency program. And the committee is very important. Injeti Srinivas committee. Committee sometimes UPSC asks like questions like Injeti Srinivas committee is related with, and they give options like intellectual properties, insolvency, cross-border insolvency, or NPA, or etc. So you have to pick the right answer. So Injeti Srinivas committee is appointed to study the NPA problem in the country, and they recommended to adopt unicitral model of cross-border insolvency 1997. Unicitral model law of cross-border insolvency. What is this unicitral model law of cross-border insolvency? United Nations Commission, unicitral is United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. International Trade Law. It is a kind of a commission. United Nations has like United Nations Commission on Refugees, United Nations Commission on Human Rights, like that. To resolve international trade problems, there is a commission, that is United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. And this United Nations Commission on International Trade Law created a model law for cross-border insolvency. To resolve this cross-border insolvency problem, a law is passed by UNICITRAL. So, Injeti Srinivas committee recommended to adopt that UNICITRAL law. And why this UNICITRAL law is important for country? Because now this topic is relevant. Take the case of Vijay Mallya, Mehul Choksi, Nirav Modi, who owes money to Indian banks and they gone to foreign countries without repaying the loan. So our banks and those companies who owes Vijay Mallya and Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi owes money are in great problem. So to resolve, and so this is a current affair related very important topic. So cross-border insolvency, a problem our country facing. We can't expatriate them from England, Vijay Mallya from England to India. So that's very kind of problem that our country facing. So economy facing. So cross-border insolvency is very important. So Injeti Srinivas Committee recommended to adopt United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. United Nations Commission on International Trade Laws model of cross-border insolvency. And regarding UNICITRAL, it was established in 1966. And technical and legislative, the main function of UNICITRAL is to give technical and legislative assistance for modernization of trade laws. And they created a website and portal called Cloud. What is Cloud? Case law on UNICITRAL Trust, a collection of court decision and arbitral awards interpreting UNICITRAL texts. There are number of trade laws created by this UNICITRAL. And based on these trade laws, a number of verdicts happen all over the country and international courts on disputes between countries, trades. A number of decisions on taken on the basis of this trade laws created by UNICITRAL. So this UNICITRAL Cloud is a portal, a collection of court decisions based on UNICITRAL laws. So Cloud, UPSC can ask a question like, Cloud recently seen in news is related with. So Cloud is a collection of court decision and arbitral awards interpreting UNICITRAL text. UNICITRAL is United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. So Cloud is important. Don't forget, Cloud is related with UNICITRAL, United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. And the focus area of UNICITRAL is dispute resolution, electronic commerce, insolvency, and infrastructure development, etc. So these are the areas on which UNICITRAL are focusing to create laws and regulations, etc.